Kelsey Roos of The Athletic. JB, when you look at this as a whole, what stands out to you just the way you guys did won this game?
I think we took care of business. It was being a coach, you're a little picky, but I thought we could have been better in that third quarter for sure. But we changed in the fourth quarter and got back to defending the way that we know we're capable of, and allowing that defense to turn into offense and easy opportunities for us.
And I know I asked about Evan earlier, but the way that he has been able to just drive into the lane and find and work his way through people, how have you just seen that, the way that he's doing that in games and finding those opportunities to do so?
Again, it's just all about him being aggressive and taking what the defense has given him. When he catches in the pocket, he's got angles and advantages, and he's elite in the pocket, and the capability of making all the plays from there. He can pass it, obviously he can finish it, but there's not a lot that he can't do when he catches that ball in that space, and puts a ton of pressure on defenses.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey JB.
What's up, Chris?
You won your 45th game tonight. It's the most that this franchise has won since 2017-18 when LeBron was here. What does that say?
We're heading in the right direction. We took over, and myself and Kobe, we sat down and we had a plan. I think he's done a phenomenal job of bringing the right personnel in here, and I think our coaching staff has done a great job of developing guys, but with the mindset that it's not about individual development. Too often you see individuals get better, but their teams never improve. I think our staff is focused on, how do we get guys that can impact winning, and how do they improve in those areas. So I think it's, we're headed in the right direction, but, it's still a part of the process for us. Our average age is 23 in our starting lineup. We're not finished getting better yet, and that's the fun part of it. We have improved, but we still have room to grow.
Obviously, you said that there are bigger goals, and it's not time to start looking ahead to the playoffs now. But is 45 wins more than what you had last year? Is that a moment to celebrate? Is that a benchmark for you guys in any way?
We try not to make it one, right? Just to, and not to be dismissive, but we're looking at something that's right in front of us. At this point, there's 9 games left, so there's so much more that you can see. And we're always looking at how we can get better, even in this short amount of time. So, that's where our focus is. We'll wait until the season's over, and then that's when you have an opportunity to look back, and think of, the successes you've had and the failures you've had, and how those failures will make you better.
And what stands out to you the most about Karras in this recent stretch?
He's just doing everything. His defense has been superb, his activity, offensively, not just shots going, but playmaking and creating for others. Again, he's taken steps, and that's the fun part about it. It's just because he's one of our older players doesn't mean that he can't continue to get better. And I think what we've seen is a really, really well-rounded version of Karras, and I think he's getting better every day as well.
Thank you.
Danny Cunningham, ESPN Cleveland. JB, what do you think the biggest difference in Ricky from the time he first came back this year to now is?
Just rhythm and timing. When you take a year off, not take a year off, but when you're off for a year in the NBA, the guys in the NBA are really good, and there's no way that you can simulate that. Whether it's practice, the games matter. The speed of the game is different from practice to a game. Playing against another team is different than just playing against your team or scrimmaging against your team. So it's just going to take a matter of time. But again, because of his intelligence, because of his skill set, it would come quickly. But he just needed to get reps.
He still has another gear to get to.
Yeah, I definitely do. I think, and it's not, again, it's more about his being comfortable and choosing and picking his spots. As far as being aggressive, attacking the basket, those types of things. But, I think, again, he's trending in the right direction.
Ashley Bastock, Cleveland.com. JB, 4 of 19 from 3 tonight for you guys. What allowed you guys to withstand that poor mark and lead the whole way?
We laugh about it as a staff, but we just win different. Our defense obviously, carries us, and we've learned how to turn people over and turn those possessions into offensive opportunities for ourselves, putting pressure on the paint, but we're just not going to be like everybody else. I think obviously we would like to make more, but, we just have to do things differently with the way we're constructed.
And then, thinking about that mark with Donovan and Darius Lee combined for 1-3, but then they have that sequence where Donovan gets the layup, Karis gets the steal, Darius gets the layup. How important are plays or moments like that when you are struggling for deep?
Yeah, you got to just diversify the game. I think that's what we've been able to do is we're not beholden to just one thing. There's a lot of teams that just, they're going to jack threes. Like, we try to diversify what we do offensively and just take what's there for us. And we're lucky that we have guys that can score in different ways.
You're all right, or 92 for the fan. Off Ashley's question, yeah, you were 4-19 from 3, but you still shot 55%. Just the another balanced scoring from your starting 5. Just how nice is it to know that you can just lean on those guys and they're going to bring it every single night?
Again, that's part of their responsibility to this team is to set the tone. And, we've got a ton of trust in them that they're going to go out and do it. And the way, again, what I appreciate so much is how they always just do it together. We have different guys that are capable of different things, and, their teammates allow them to play to their strengths. We don't ever, engage in the his turn, my turn, he gets to do this, why can't I do that? All our guys engage in is this is his strength, he's going to play to his strength, and I'm going to do my best to help him play to his strength.
The game is a game of runs. You guys went up 21. They got within 7 there in the third quarter before you guys responded and put it away. There have been times where that hasn't been the case this season. Does that make you feel good knowing you guys were able to put away an inferior opponent as you head down this home stretch?
Yeah, when you look at the Wizards, you talk about Porzingis, you talk about Beal, you talk about Kuzma, but those are 3 high-level basketball players who are capable, of making shots and turning runs. What I thought, again, I was a little disappointed in that third quarter, but, I thought our guys did a great job of responding. And, you hate to have to be in those situations, but, there are lessons learned from being in those situations and overcoming them.
Last 2, Marissa and then Joe.
Marissa McNeese, Chronicle Telegram. JB, you talked a little bit about Karis and Ricky tonight. Curious, your thoughts just on the bench overall, what they've been able to bring, and particularly tonight?
Yeah, I think they're finding their way also. Again, when, that first group, some of those guys play a ton of minutes, and then, you've got to figure out how you contribute in your minutes, and that takes a little bit of time. But I think, over these past couple weeks, guys are understanding where they fit in, how they get theirs, and how they can help the team. So, again, it's always going to be a learning process for us, and I think our guys are learning and figuring it out.
Is it nice to have a game like this where you can get some of those guys maybe some more minutes, especially at this point in the season?
Yeah, it's the way our schedule is with so many days off, it's a great opportunity to get a lot of guys, minutes, and prepare for whenever your time is called, because no matter short season, long season, we all know at some point in time your number is going to be called and you got to be prepared. There's no preparation like game preparation.
Hi, Joe.
Joe Jenkins, Coach, you're a big points in the paint guy. You put up 78 tonight without Jarrett. How pleased are you with that?
Great. I think we were really, really attack-minded. And I think that's where, to start that third, we got a little jump shot happy. But we had an advantage in the paint, and I thought that once we made our mind up to get back in that paint is when the game changed for us again. So, playing to our strength, and if you've got an opportunity to take advantage of a defense, making sure you're doing that.
And then how good has Mamadi been just kind of filling that gap until Jarrett gets back?
He's been good. He has a really, really good understanding of the game. You go all the way back to his college days, and those UVA teams are really good defensively and well coached. And you see, he's been able to translate that to the NBA. And, there's just certain things that he can do. Like he can protect the rim, block shots that people can't get to. He understands rotations and those things. But he helps us hold that down.
Okay.